This is Tacoincidence, where we learn the secrets of breakthrough brand experience from the most brilliant leaders while we're on the search for the perfect taco. Join us on Taco Stop number 4, Courage Over Comfort. I met up with Carine Clark at Brasas Mexican Grill in downtown Provo, Utah. She runs Banyan, a software as a service company that helps elective healthcare businesses leverage social media content to build relationships with their patients that last a lifetime. I wanted to learn why she believes in the power of brand experience, what she does to create it, and how it's helped her thrive. All over tacos. It really doesn't get much better than this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we're making this happen. So this one's the al pastor.
Okay.
Has some pineapple, and that is carne asada.
Carne asada.
Have you been to Mexico City?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
I've been to Teotihuacan.
What?
Bam.
What took you there?
Work. In one of our events, I think it was Altiris, we had a channel partner event, and they had brought out all the tacos, and one of them was like this tree larva that was, it was like a delicacy.
Okay.
And so I'm like, perhaps no. So then our host was talking, gringos, and I was like, oh, he's talking about us. So I grabbed a tortilla, I grabbed the fried worm stuff, put it inside, I ate it, and they were so entertained.
Oh, they loved it.
They were so entertained. It wasn't that bad. But the guy next to me, he was like, I hate you so much, because now he has to do it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But
So, you've been all about customer and brand experience your whole life.
My whole life.
What is that all about? Like, why does that resonate with you? What is it that...
I think because when I was a kid, worked really hard. Like, I made $1 an hour babysitting. So when I spend my money, that $1 an hour, I want to make sure that they treat me like it matters. And so I'm a student of customer experience. So it always bothers me when I'm not getting the best, like from an airline or from,
Anywhere.
a catalog place, or like some of these big box stores. They don't care. They don't care. They make it really hard to take your money. They make it really hard to get your money back. New companies especially, they're differentiating what they do based on customer experience. And so we're starting to figure out, hey, it matters. So we'll pay more to have a better experience. And one of the reasons I went into this space is that I care so much about customer experience, but patient experience even more, because I did 18 months of chemotherapy. Right. So I've been into the bowels of some of this stuff. Why do I have to wait an hour in the waiting room when I came at a time that you said worked for you? Why do you're completely naked under a big paper towel, and some stranger comes in and they're just like talking to you, and it's weird. It's super weird, So I think that it's going to be part of how hospitals and doctors and practitioners and elective care especially, which is what we do, we help elective care providers. So your dentist, your orthodontist, your chiropractor, your urgent care, places where you have a choice. Yeah. So we're trying to make it so that those practitioners that have started their own business, who've done a really good job of building, the skills that they need to put their hands in your mouth, but they don't know how to attract customers. They don't know how to treat you so that you want to go back. Yeah. That whole experience.
How have we gone so far to dehumanize something that is so intimately personal?
And expensive.
And expensive, for sure.
Well, I went to a cancer center, a local cancer center here, Huntsman Cancer. They have a culture of care. When you walk in, it's like a spa.
Wow.
It's more like a hotel. It's not like a hospital. It doesn't smell. They have a grand piano in the lobby. They have a check-in desk. It's like a concierge. They have valet parking. Yeah. I did 18 months of chemo there. I did not have one bad experience. Wow. I didn't call insurance one time in 18 months. They handled everything.
Really?
And one time, she said, I want to do another scan. She came back, she said, your insurance isn't going to pay for it. And I was like, She's like, oh no, we're still going to do the scan. I have my own budget. So like she took a problem and turned it into not a problem, because my problem became her problem. She's like, it's all good. So I use them as a model for healthcare, because they have a culture of care. It started from John M. Huntsman, who was the founder. I think it was really important that the patient was always first, and that they helped people not only survive, but they helped them have a great experience in this horrible disease. So, big fan of Huntsman Cancer. Big fan.
Well, And congratulations on
Oh my gosh.
cancer surviving.
I didn't die. So seriously,
We're
every
so
day-
happy you're here.
Me too, because I'm eating this taco. Every day I'm here. It's like a bonus round. People are like, "How are you today?" I'm like, "I'm here." Yay.
We're making it one more day.
Yeah. Usually, when you think you're gonna die, it changes you forever. And then you start to figure out, hey, it's okay. You know, we can be kind. We can be kind. We can be polite. We can be. So when I'm unhappy with my customer experience, I don't start yelling and screaming, because I think people want to say yes. People want to solve a problem. But if you make it so painful, they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna torch you.
I mean, you're CEO of a successful
Groovy little company.
And even before that, you were you won Entrepreneur of the Year with Merit CX. And
Oh, they needed a girl, so it's okay. I'm okay.
come on, no, you can't discount that. That's amazing. An amazing accomplishment that had to have been impacted from these life experiences.
Oh yeah. The weird thing is, and I can say it now because it's been 7 years since diagnosis, that I learned a ton from my cancer. I learned that everyone's really trying to do the best they can. People aren't trying to be awful. And a lot of these companies are stuck with old systems and old processes and old procedures. And they're not, the people on the front line don't have the ability to make decisions and make changes. Because if they did, they would be able to solve a lot of problems that customers have. I'm just doing my job. It's the policy, And it's too bad, because if we chose courage over comfort and those employees could say, hey, we could do a better job for our customers if you let us just do this. And it's not going to cost that much more money. And we can solve a lot of our customer experience problems with technology. Not because we're going to have a robot operate and do stuff at the front line, but because technology can do things that we can't do as people.
And really, as an enabler to an enhanced, improved customer and brand experience, right?
Right. Well, I went to a healthcare conference, and the doctors were, pretty upset about AI because it's going to replace the doctor. It's not going to replace the doctor. It's going to help the doctor have more information so they can make decisions on the pathology, on the care for the patient.
We're still human beings, right?
Yeah.
Like we need other human beings there's someone on the other end of that making a decision.
Yeah, and you don't want to take that away.
No.
My mother and father were in a car accident, and it was a bad accident on the freeway, and they were coming up to meet me 4th of July, and so my dad calls me and he's like, Carine, we've been in a bad car accident. Everyone's fine, but your mother's in an ambulance. When I hear ambulance, I don't hear anything after that. I need you to call USAA and tell them that the car is, we don't know where the car is. So I'm like, okay, Dad. Well, since we're Army kids, we know my dad's social security number, and I'm in my dad's downline. So I call USAA, give them my name, Colonel's name, social security number. Mrs. Clark, first thing, how is the Colonel? I'm like, he's good. Again, how is your mom? Like, she's in the hospital. Okay, we don't want you to worry about anything. We'll find the car. We'll get them a rental car. I mean, they just went through the list, and I was like, okay. Like that moment, you have the right company. And then when we were all done, he said, this is my name, this is my number. I'm gonna text it to you so that you have it, because you probably aren't gonna remember it. We finished up everything, and he's like, Mrs. Clark, please tell the Colonel, please thank him for his service to our country. He ended it with the Patriots and
the national anthem starts playing.
And I'm I'm going through all these emotions, and I'm like, God bless America. And when I hung up the phone, I was like, okay, that was like a great, this guy took me from, car accident to, my father is this great patriot. And on the 4th of July, right? It was a holiday.
Of course.
Yeah. And so I have been a customer of theirs for 35, 38 years. And my husband, whenever he gets in a car accident, when they call me, I'm like, oh, I'll divorce him before, please don't throw me out of USAA. They're like, oh, Mrs. Clark, we're never going to throw you out of USAA. You never have car accidents. I'm like, yeah. I'm raising my husband and my sons. They have car accidents. I just love them.
Wow.
I don't even look at the bill. That's how you know that they provide great customer experiences. You're just like, the experience is so superior. I don't even care what it costs. If you raise it, okay.
So why is it that we live in a world where businesses don't get that? And when the vast majority of the businesses, the customer and brand experience is mediocre at best, or it's just, it's pretty standard. Or it's terrible.
I think it starts with how they treat their employees. Right? If you treat your employees okay, We're going to cycle you in and out. You get minimum wage or a little more than minimum wage. We don't care about your long-term career. We're just pushing you through.
Your number.
Yeah, that transfers to your customers. Companies that make investments in their employees. I mean, people that they care about their employees, think to actually listen to their employees, and they can, modify and grow the business based on how the employees are part. If you have happy employees and you got good frontline people, but if you don't, they don't care.
So what does that look like where you're at now, or at Banyan and Merits
So
CX? Like, how is that?
Both B2B companies, right? Both companies, when I came in, I said, look, here's how I grade people. I want three things. I want people who are humble, I want people who are hungry, and people who are smart about people. If you are not those three, then you're not going to make it here. And I know who you are. So you should probably go. And humble doesn't mean weak. Humble means I don't have to, like, if you win, I can celebrate that. Like, I win when you win. I don't have to be front and center all the time. And that's how that's with the customer, right? I'm going to make sure the customer gets what they need. And we can't give customer everything they want, but if you can make sure the customer gets to a place where they're satisfied. And I have the best frontline people because they are very empathetic,
Huge.
Instead of being, well, at least you didn't get this, that's not very empathetic. That's horrible. But this team, they are amazing, and I listen to them. So when they're having a tough day, I make sure and pull them off the line, and then I go and talk to them. We eat something, ice cream or something, or tacos, and then because they have hard jobs, right? Because companies will have to differentiate themselves based on their customer experience, and the most profitable companies on the planet have terrific diversity, and they have programs around customer experience. You sent me a quote from my friend Ryan Smith that 80% of CEOs think they're doing a good job when their customers would say 8%. That's how oblivious a lot of people are. They think because I have a program, because I have surveys, because I pay to understand where people are at, that's a customer experience program. That's not. It's just the beginning of a customer experience program.
How have you gone about designing that?
So the first thing I do,
like integrating it into your DNA.
First thing I do is staple myself to a bill. So I sold this to you. I staple myself to the bill. And I go through the whole onboarding, payment. Because when you do that, you're like, oh, this is terrible. I'm already paying and it hasn't been onboarded. Okay, we got to fix that, right? I call that the value delivery chain. My friend, a product manager called Procter & Gamble, they sell adult diapers. They're in a meeting, everybody's in adult diapers. He's like, it's super weird because you can tell when people stop for a minute and then you know what they're doing. But I love that I'm not doing that. But I love that they are wearing them.
Stick with software.
Yeah, I'll stick with software. I'm a software and service girl. But I love that they are.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, ooh.
Living it.
Yeah.
They're living it.
They're stapling themselves to their product, right?
Amazing.
Easy, too. Just got to be the customer.
Yeah. Wow. What an
image.
And what an image.
I'm glad you're done eating.
Enjoy.
To me, no big deal.
No, I mean, like I said, I worked in a nursing home for 4.5 years. Nurses have no filters.
Yeah.
Zero. Like you eat a potluck with them, and they're talking about bodily fluids.
Code Brown.
Oh yeah. Exactly. I'm like, come on, you guys, we're eating.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. With all of this, so clearly you've seen the benefits of this over the years for your businesses.
It's a great way to live, right? It's a great way. People love their companies. I use customer experience for everything. My house with my kids, my callings in my church, I want it to be a great experience. I want people to be super easy for people to be successful. And if I can do that, then why wouldn't I?
I'm super curious how you've crafted and architected an extraordinary brand and customer experience through software, where you
especially software as a service.
Exactly.
There's no box.
Right.
There's nothing you touch. When we sell to practitioners, so dentists, eye doctors, chiropractors, physical, all they want to do is their job. They need customers to come in. They need the right customers to come in. Mm-hmm. They don't want to spend a lot of money and time attracting the right customers. But in the dental space, for example, there's a lot of noise. And so we help them make sure their experience online looks like their company. We help them get above the fray. So you can do that through social media. But there's also people that are like, social media, that's not a thing. It's another way for you to have a personal relationship with your customers, right? We handle it all for you. You just pay a monthly fee. We make sure your listings are accurate. We make sure your the good reviews are bumped up, and also that you can find which reviews you need to fix. It's early warning for problems. We make it so that you can communicate with your customers about changes in your business or in their appointments. Some of the new stuff we're working on is that you can actually have lots of information going back and forth, but see, we're HIPAA compliant, so we make sure that the customer information is always protected.
What action item, like specific thing, would you suggest that someone could do in like the next 24 hours even? As a leader, as a business leader, to dial up their brand experience just one notch?
There's a couple things you can do. First of all, you can say, what's my biggest problem right now? First, look at where your problems are, because you want to be able to solve some of this. And then become a student. Become a student of your business, right? Take off your boss hat, almost like fire yourself, and then be just regular guy on the street and go through the experience. And it's amazing what you figure out, what you find out. You find problems with training, you find problems with motivation, you find all kinds of problems, and how the customers have to move through your process. And then just fix one thing at a time. Like, and I'm a student of this between airlines, rental cars, grocery stores.
You know, it's so fun. I'm just laughing because, I mean, I feel you. So like, it is so my life. I can't take my customer experience glasses off.
No,
everywhere I go,
it messes you up.
I can't take them off because I'm like, oh, that's a piece of trash there. Like, I mean, there's like every little thing that why does this person do you realize what you could do, and you could make things more efficient for yourself, plus provide a surprising,
better for all of us.
Like a surprising experience for me that makes me feel awesome instead of feel like I'm worthless.
Another example, I was flying out of St. Louis, the flight attendant, first class, bunch of us in there, and there's some scramble. So he's like, I'll be back. He leaves the plane, comes back, and he's got all this food that he's bought. So once we take off, he said, I'm sorry, and first class passengers, there was a mix-up and we didn't get any catering. So he made these little trays with the stuff that he bought with chips and stuff that he had in the galley. And I'm like, hang on, like, tell me what this is all about. He's like, I just wanted to make sure you guys had something to eat, so I bought some salads and sandwiches. And I said, did you pay for that out of your own pocket? He's like, yeah. I said, will the company reimburse you? And he's like, I don't know. I expect they will, but it doesn't matter because I need to make sure that you guys had food. I wrote, and I called the people that managed the cabin. I'm like, let me tell you, this guy, like, he was hustling, and he didn't talk bad about the catering. He was just like, I'm sorry we don't have everything. And we were all like, who wants the salad? Like, we were all trying to make sure everybody, instead of like, scarcity, I'm going to have it. Everybody was just trying to make sure, trading across the aisle. And he created this environment where we all had abundance.
Imagine if everyone were like that.
Yeah.
And luckily we find people on our teams that can execute like that.
They're kind and thoughtful and
empathetic.
Yeah, and they don't inconvenience the customer. They inconvenience themselves, and they don't make the customer feel like they owe them something.
Yeah.
But you notice, so I always want to know people's names, and I always try to talk to like young Tanya, right? She has a hard job. It's cold in there because she doesn't have a cover. We have a heater, she doesn't, and she's she got herself dressed up, and she's probably a student, and like we need to make sure that we leave Tanya feeling good because Tanya someday is going to be a CEO of a company, or like a great mom or both, and like she felt good. That over time that will create a person that, okay, I can make people feel good.
Amazing. Wow. Well, it's just such a treat to talk with you.
Thank you for my tacos.
Well, I
and my sketchy cactus and chips and salsa. Super good on the chips and salsa.
Oh man.
Well, the tacos were good too.
Yeah, they were good. Thanks for braving the cold. I mean, there's good tacos and all sorts of experiences,
Well,
and
I'm just happy to be on the planet. Thanks for listening to all my stories.
I love it. I really do. And it's totally inspirational. I think that I am excited to see where Banyan continues to go and grow. Thank you for being such a champion of this humanizing
love it. Yeah.
of the customer experience because like you said, and I wholeheartedly believe it and have seen it too, is that those are the companies that are going to win, are those that fully embrace this humanizing component of customer.
Yeah. So if we can humanize healthcare, like yay.
Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, of course.
It's been so awesome.
Special thanks to our host, Brasas Mexican Grill, for creating the ideal place for us to talk about brand and customer experience. Their al pastor with pineapple is a great go-to, especially with their roasted salsa and even some of that spicy cactus. Join our epic taco journey on our website. You're not going to want to miss out on the national taco tour we're planning when we launch the book, The Search for the Perfect Taco. So follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel, and tune in to another episode of Tacoincidence, where we'll continue to explore the secrets to level up your brand experience and your taco game. Okay, just throwing this in here. El Pilon.
So you had spicy for lunch already?
Oh my gosh.
What'd you guys do?
Well, one of my employees is from India. So she's been saying that she wants to make lunch for everyone. It was so good, but I'm not kidding. She said, I usually make this food 10 times hotter. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. No. I'm like face down in the rice because it was so hot. So I didn't eat a lot of it. It was really good, though. It was seriously really good.
The rice. That's amazing.
Which one are you going to eat first?
I think I'm going to go al pastor, actually.
First? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So where do you usually go to tacos? It looks like your sons are going to Del Taco.
My sons are going to the Del Taco because they're all about the volume.